Kellyanne Conway destroys the Democrat Party in this post-election look back. The most important thing is that the Democrats not learn any lessons. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is the Doug TenNapel channel. Thanks for subscribing. Leave a comment below on what you think. Will the Democrats ever learn?
They lie to people all the time. Donald Trump is a professional liar, and as a result, but they are better at working the media channels. Democrats
are stupid. You're sitting here saying the American people are stupid.
No, I'm saying you guys are better at talking.
I don't think you guys is. It's like...
She is tearing this Democrat apart, and all the Democrats on this panel for getting it wrong. They still imply that we are lying or that Trump is lying and that the American people love voting for liars.
I said it a year ago. I'll say it again because it was just raised. The Democratic Party right now, every day they wake up, it's still January 6, 2021 on the calendar. They get an electric vehicle. They get an abortion. You're out of touch with the public. This election was a rejection of wokeness, and people, every state went more red except Nebraska and Washington State. That is a sweep. That is a mandate.
Every day for a Democrat, it's still January 6, 2021. They get in an electric vehicle and get out and go for their abortion. Eviscerated. It's true. They're living in the past. They're still clutching to that old secular progressive religion. It's very hard to give up your religion, and it's a shame for them that they have conflated their religion with politics. Something those of us on the Republican side, I already have a religion, so I don't need the Republican Party to become my religion.
That is President Trump coming into office and the American people saying, please make my life safer, more secure, more affordable. Please get us out of these foreign engagements. And I think the always wrong, never Trumpers who had unlimited money.
And I like that little jab too. They apparently had unlimited money. The other good news that's really weird is they relied on power, on money. It's like the Death Star. It's like Saruman. Overt power. They think will win the day. And boy, did it backfire on them, because the American people, there's a heart beating inside of us that apparently is resistant to $2 billion worth of propaganda, social pressure, teasing, bullying. It didn't work.
Cost the party, cost the Democratic Party, which they say they're not even a member, another presidential election.
Good. Don't learn anything. Keep it up, guys.
There were articles where Democrats were saying, please dump Kamala Harris from the ticket, change your vice president. Part of the reason that President Biden could not step aside is people didn't have confidence in the competence of Kamala Harris. And then all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that she has worked hard. She does speak well. The American people saw it differently.
Remember, the media was running with Joe Biden and running with Kamala Harris. Just a giant fire hose of propaganda. They stepped right up to the plate, and it didn't work.
And I'm relieved to hear that very few lessons, it sounds like, have been learned by my Democratic.
I agree with that too. I don't want them to learn. People might think that's a very hateful thing to say. It's not. I don't want them to learn. I don't want them to change, because I know that if they learn why they actually lost, they might fix it. And if they fix it and then eventually win, they will go right back to imprisoning opponents, hating the normal family, punishing people, expanding unemployment. So I'm saying I don't want them to learn, because I don't want them to ever get near power again, because they will do evil things. That's what they do with it. It's important for them not to learn any lessons.
And Forbes magazine wrote an article maybe 2 weeks ago, tops, saying of the 10 top TikToks of 2024, 8 came from the Trump campaign, 5 in the last week alone. So he's in the garbage truck, he's at McDonald's. You're watching Joe Rogan live, but then other people are watching it through TikTok.
And this is about the brilliance of the Trump campaign's media strategy, which, by the way, I recommend everybody embrace. He jumped over to TikTok. TikTok's also not a good platform, right? It's Chinese, but Trump, the Republican Party, ended up taking on the major roles on TikTok as part of their dominating media strategy. Meanwhile, you have Democrats getting off of X in record numbers because they're throwing a tantrum. So they're doing it again. They have terrible strategy on media, and it's because their religion-like politics demand that everything be a protest, everything be a boycott.
He goes to East Palestine before any official in the Biden-Harris administration, before the Secretary of Transportation, before the sitting senior senator, now the ex-senator of Ohio, Sherrod Brown. And he's honoring the police officer who's slain in Massapequa, New York on Long Island, while Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden are all at Radio City Music Hall at a fundraiser.
They're at a fundraiser because they're going for power. That's Barack Obama, Joe Biden. They're attracted to power, and Trump would just go out to wherever the news, whatever was pop, big at the time, Palestine, disaster, the big flame out before Pete Buttigieg showed up. Trump was there on the ground. The hurricane, Trump was there on the ground, not because it served him.
He beats Kamala Harris to Georgia and North Carolina, where people are in pain, where everything that they've had and loved ones have been washed away, literally, and Kamala Harris in San Francisco at a fundraiser.
This is because Democrats actually don't know how to lead. They don't know how to be a leader. Trump does. He's already the president, and he's not even the president yet. He's going to Notre Dame. He's going to all these other countries. He's presidential. He's joking with Canada, inviting Canada down to Mar-a-Lago. That's his leadership instincts. He steps into it, maybe even where he's not invited. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were being invited to places, just to even show up and do an interview, and they wouldn't show up.
The Democrats would have won if they got away with convincing Americans to believe what the Democrats told them was real and true and authentic, rather than what they saw with their own eyes and heard with their own ears, what was real and true and authentic.
And this is the big victory, is do you believe your eyes over what culture tells you? This is true about anything, about race, about economics, even about Jesus. Do you believe Jesus when you encounter him in the Bible yourself, or do you believe what your culture tells you to believe? Never get your theology from culture. Never get your politics even. Don't believe what they say. Are you going to believe your eyes? The American people said, look, we see the southern border. We can't afford groceries. There's inflation. We don't like what's happening with the economy. We don't like the lies that we see. Biden is a decrepit, crumbling old man, and you're telling me he's fine. Are you going to believe your eyes? This was the election where the American people believed their eyes over culture. It's a huge victory.
Everything from a sitting president's obvious mental and physical lack of acuity, agility, ability, but even the vice president, whose official schedule that they stopped publishing a while ago had little to nothing on it most weekends and then most days.
Yeah, they just snowed you on everything. This is the biggest tectonic shift of my life. Forget Trump winning. I think it's great that Trump won, but who really lost is a satanic lying machine, an anti-free speech cultural leviathan that was trying to control everything. Remember what Hillary Clinton said? If we can't control speech, we lose control. If we can't punish this misinformation, they're losing control. That's the news that I'm leaving you with.
And this is the election where Americans are saying, no more. You are not going to pigeonhole and narrowcast me and tell me what to think, for whom to vote, and how to feel based on my age, my gender, my race, my sexual orientation, my religion, my political party registration, my past voting behavior.
That's the big picture, guys. Please take that quote with you this week and put a huge smile, I mean a joy heart-shaped smile on you. This is big. The American people rejected a giant lie, the giant cultural lie they said to the Marxists who've been working on this for 100 years in the march through the institution. And everyone's been terrified of it, going, what are we going to do about the woke, everything? They're destroying everything. And I've even said it, I gave up hope after a while. I go, you know what? They've marched too far. It's too far gone. Maybe I've lost my hope. This election just broke that thing backwards. It broke it off, guys. It doesn't mean we're in the clear. Doesn't mean the truth and the gospel is going out, but it means the lie machine, the lie factory, that the demiurge's workshop has been silenced. I'm Doug in Exile.